They say university makes students. Here, students make university. So, with the slogan of Think Big, I, Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on recent advances in mechanical and mechatronics engineering. And I hope that you all are doing fine, safe, sound, and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the advances that has taken place in this field, that is mechanical engineering specifically, we have our expert here with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. First, we have Dr. Jayendrapreet Singh. He is currently working as an associate professor and head of department in School of Mechanical Engineering, Lovely Professional University. His area of research is green composites, polymer composites, and is mechanical characterization. He has published more than 20 research articles in peer-reviewed international journals and has guided 11 MTech theses already, and 1 MTech and 2 PhD theses are going on currently. And he has published 5 book chapters and is editorial board of some of the reputed Scopus Index journals. He is also a guest editor of one of the Scopus Index international peer-reviewed journal and has granted 4 international patents and published 10 plus patents already. So, sir, I heartily welcome you in the webinar. And with equal pleasure, I would like to welcome Dr. Manpreet Singh, Head of Mechatronics, School of Mechanical Engineering, Lovely Professional University, here with us. He is a magnetic personality who has an effective communicator with excellent relationship and time management skill. He's having more than 23 years of experience in different institutes and has many highlights throughout his career, like awards and development strategies he has accomplished. He has published different books and chapters till dates and has published different research papers in international journals of repute and has over 181 patents published already and has been a part of various conferences and seminars of international levels. So, sir, with this, I sincerely welcome you in the webinar. And before I like you to carry on with the session, I would like to tell every participant, every attendee here that now you can post your questions in chat box or Q&A box, and you can write in your questions and you can have a chat session, of course, with our experts at the end of the session. And now with this, sir, I would like you to please carry on with the session and looking forward for an amazing session.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Himanshi.
Thank you.
First of all, I would like to extend my warm welcomes to all the participants for attending this webinar. So basically, before going to start with this webinar, let me just introduce what kind of programs we are actually offering in a School of Mechanical Engineering. So broadly, we are offering undergraduate programs, postgraduate programs, as well as doctoral programs. So in our undergraduate programs, we are offering around 5 different programs like BTech Mechanical Engineering, BTech Automobile Engineering, BTech Aerospace Engineering, BTech Mechatronics, and BTech Automobile Engineering in electric vehicle design, which is one of the main thrust area nowadays. And this particular program is actually tie up with the Siemens. Then after that, we have some postgraduate programs are there, which are MTech Design, MTech Robotics, MTech Thermal, and MTech Aerospace. Then we have 2 doctoral programs are there, that is MTech PhD in Mechanical Engineering and PhD in Aerospace. Talking about our rankings, like our university is under the world university ranking, that is at the level of 23rd. So we are among the 23rd. Among both private and the government sectors. Talking about in engineering, we are at the 6th position in the band of 401 to 500 band. Also in the impact ranking 2023, we are at the 2nd level in India with a band of 101 to 200 band. Talking about the world's university with the real impact ranking, so we are at the 3rd position in overall India among the government as well as private universities. Apart from the international rankings, we have a national rankings also. Like our university is under NIF rank at 38th among both private and government universities. In engineering, we are at a level of 50th rank among both government as well as private universities. So these are what our rankings are talking in terms of international or maybe a national rankings. Now talking about this webinar, recent advancement in mechanical and mechatronics engineering. So I would like Dr. Manpreet to give some insight to all the participants about these programs.
Definitely, thank you, Jahinder, for letting me, introduce about this mechanical engineering and mechatronics engineering. But yes, before that, we must understand the essence of this presentation first, right? So we are here to, discuss about recent advances in mechanical and mechatronics engineering. See, in this world, the game is about demand and supply, right? So we often say this particular phrase that it's game of demand and supply, but we must understand what is the demand and how we can, give a supply to that particular industry in terms of engineering graduates, right? So how can we make use of this demand? You must understand this particular thing first. See, if I'll be talking about some manufacturing industry, what are the probable reasons that why industry fails, why they are not being able to cope up with the latest advancements, or maybe fails in production, or maybe they fails as a whole. So they are not failing because of the production, right? They are failing if they have weak estimation about demand, right? So we must understand first that what is the demand over here. See, I cannot predict anything. I cannot predict that what is going to happen after 5 years, right? So if I would have a very good predictor, then I would say that I would be a maybe investment giant by now. Now it's not possible. But yes, we are doing here a little bit estimation that where is the demand in the sector right now, and where we are needing our mechanical engineers to be participating in the social as well as in the industrial development of the country, right? So we are doing a little bit estimation while we are presenting this whole mechanical and its recent advances in mechanical and mechatronics. So in this presentation, first we have covered up about the programs which has been running in the LPU. And thereafter, a few achievements, and these achievements are not, on overnight. So we are working very hard for achieving these goals, like these rankings and all. And thereafter, we'll be, discussing about some of the recent sectors where the demand is growing for mechanical and mechatronics engineering students. And thereafter, what kind of job profiles would be there, and what kind of skill sets needed by the students to gain to achieve those demands, right? So if I'll be talking about mechanical engineering, you might be having a little bit about idea about the mechanical engineering. So mechanical engineering is one of the oldest branch, right, in the engineering, where we have done design, analysis, manufacturing, and maintenance of mechanical system. In mechanical system, we can talk about your automobiles, your aeroplanes, your machinery. So any kind of machine, whatever you are using, so is being you can say designed by a mechanical engineer, right? So it involves applications of mathematics, physics in a deep essence, right? So you cannot, if you are weak in physics or maybe in mathematics, so these particular two branch would be coming in this mechanical engineering in a big way, right? Then we are coming for the material science. Kind of in previous times, we were having cars of maybe which carries a weight of around 2,000 kilograms, and by now we are having the same cars with a better strength, right, with the better design, and now they carries only a weight of 1,300 kilograms. So that is where the role of material science engineers are coming through, and that they come under the mechanical engineering, right? So next, if I'll be talking about mechatronics, right? So mechatronics is a branch, I think, which was incepted, I think, a decade ago, right, and comes into existence. It's a basically multidisciplinary branch, because if I'll be talking about a car by now, right? So this car is not having only mechanical components. These are having, all kind of ECUs, like fuel supply is being controlled by electronical controlled unit. And even if you are using a steering, that is also electronically controlled steering. So if I'll be talking about any other functionality of the car, so we are having electronic system involved in this, right?
Driverless cars are
Yes.
nowadays coming.
Yes,
that is
yes,
like
yes, yes,
also
yes,
a
yes.
mechatronics engineer who comes into the picture and who develop this car.
Definitely. So as a whole, mechatronics is a multidisciplinary field, and it takes up mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, and computer science engineering. And the main work of a mechatronics engineer by now is to design the control systems and to control the control systems, right? For example, you might have come across with the air conditioning units at your home, right? So air conditioning units, if I'll be going back 15 years back, and you know that what kind of ACs you would have, where you are mechanically controlling that this is the temperature I want to set for the whole night. But right now it's electronically controlled in a better way. It can even control the speed of the compressor, where the electricity consumption has been coming down a lot. So because I have experienced those systems, earlier the one AC used to take up 20 units in 1 hour. I've seen that time too. And right now there are ACs which are only consuming even 5 units in 1 hour, right? So it is basically focusing on development of the mechanical systems in integration with electronics and computer, so that we could have a better control systems in the coming future, right? So the next part, if I'll be talking about say, I'll be going a little bit fast over here, right? Like how this industrial revolution has started, right? And what is the role of mechanical engineer and mechatronics engineer in this industrial revolution? If you can see this screen, we are presently talking about industry 4.0, right? Industry 4.0, but what is this industry 4.0 is, right? So this is the notation which started in 1800, right? Where we were having industrial 1.0 revolution at that time, where we are working on mechanizations and water and steam power, right? So if the electricity was generated at that time, so they were basically using the coal at that time. They were generating the steam, and that steam power was utilized to generate some electricity. And this is how our automobile system was working in sync with this. Even they were having few cars, and those were even running on steam engines. And thereafter in 1900, if you can see, the industry focuses on mass production, right? Where they have some product, they don't want to waste time. They want that product to be in the mass to be produced. Like earlier they were producing maybe 10 units in a day. So the focus on industry was coming to, they don't want to produce only 10 units of that particular product. They were going for the thousands. So this was the area when 1900 revolution started, that all the industries has focused on the mass production. Then we were having electrical power assembly lines even. So the electrical power has been utilized at a large, right? And in 2000, so if you have come come from that particular age, so definitely computers started taking over, right? Because computers are basically in starting to ease our job, right, in certain operations of industry. where earlier I have seen that the data keeping or maybe the record keeping was very difficult. They used to have, big stores to have that all kind of data, and they used to, diminish that particular data for maybe after every 5 years. So if you want to look upon, like I'm in 2005, what is the data of this particular machine before 2000? So in that time, I don't think so it was possible, right? But with the inception of computers, so even it was started with the data keeping, record keeping, and then it started with the programming. So a revolution, a kind of new revolution started, right? And start of, electronic component were also there in industry 3.0. So in the present scenario, when I have joined this LPU, so we were talking about industry 4.0, where we were having, cyber physical systems, IoT systems, where we can control few of the components remotely through internet. Then we are starting with networking, machine learning. Machine learning is where we are giving some power to the machine for taking certain decisions, right? So now in this particular era, we are in industry 5.0, right? Where we want that human and robot collaboration must be there, right? So we generally call this particular system not as robots. We are generally calling this system as cobots, right? So we are also going for the cognitive system and customization. Like you might have come across ChatGPT by now. So that is a very good example where a computer or maybe an intelligent system is helping us a lot in number of things, right? So this is how now we are more focusing on this industry 5.0, because after 5 years, we are having a big demand in this particular sector. So now I'll be handing over to Jainder, where he'll be discussing few of the domains where demand is on a very high, right?
Thank you, Dr. Manpreet. So it was a wonderful discussion where the aspirants had learned about from where the mechanical and mechatronics engineering initiated. So now students or aspirants, like sometimes we have always a thought in my mind that always we need to choose the right profession, right? So if I talk about that, what is the future of a mechanical and a mechatronics engineering? So as per the reports which were by the governments, so what they said that this particular field is growing at the pace of 7% by 2027, and there is a huge demand of mechanical and mechatronics in industry. Yesterday, there was a grand celebration where our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they had visited USA, and they had very good tie-ups
Yes.
with the president of USA. And yesterday there was a big deal happened by the two main countries. So General Electric Aerospace is actually tie up with the
Yes.
with the HAL, and by this deal, most of the jet engines, they are actually going to be manufactured in India itself. So this is one of the very huge demand, and why the aerospace industry is actually coming in India, because they find a lot of potential in India itself.
Yes. One point I would like to add here. So there is one question in my mind that why they are coming to India for manufacturing.
Yeah.
So that is a big question in my mind initially, but yes, when I searched out this particular thing, because there are many reasons, right? So number one, here labor is very cheap. That is a first point which contributes more and more countries to start their manufacturing in India. The number two thing, so all kind of raw material is available in India. If we are talking about steel, if we are talking about maybe plastic or maybe any other component being used in making an aeroplane. So apart from a few components like nanoboards,
yeah,
we usually have by now. So we are taking up those boards from, I think, Taiwan.
Taiwan.
So it's a big giant.
Yes.
So it's kind of a monopoly, but for rest of the things, I can understand that India is having a very good opportunity in manufacturing sector, and that is why, because if I'll be talking about General Electric, so General Electric is not only assessing that this person has come and immediately we jump over there and we start our manufacturing there. No. So there are reasons that why manufacturing giant is coming to India. If they look for some opportunities, if they find that we can manufacture this particular product, right, at a cheap cost, right, at a less cost than what we are manufacturing here, definitely the countries would be jumping over, right? Because you might have seen China, right, which has grown in past 2 decades in terms of manufacturing, because of they have availability of raw material and the availability of cheap labor rates.
Yes.
Right. And that is the main reason, right? India is having big opportunity in this manufacturing sector. But the thing we need is to enhance the skill set.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. So talking about the new digital era, as our main intent of this webinar is that what are the recent advancements there are in mechanical and mechatronics engineering. So talking about the new digital era, like mechanical engineers are discovering various new technologies that will bring a different advancement to the world, right? So these are some of the latest technologies. If I talk about electric vehicle, nowadays we are seeing like throughout India, there is a boom of electric vehicles, and in the common man, they are actually also accepting these electric vehicles, considering that what kind of global concerns are there because of the emissions of our different carbons and from the IC. Similarly, we have latest technologies like artificial intelligence, augmented realities, additive manufacturing, robotics, automation, smart manufacturing, biomechanics, and medical devices. So these are the latest technologies which are actually nowadays and in future also
in big demand.
Yeah, it's in big demand. It's in big demand. This
It's
is what
coming
the
future
requires.
after maybe 4 to 5 years. We cannot project, as I have already said, that for next 2 decades, what is going to happen, even I don't.
Yeah.
Right. But for the coming 4 and 5 years, these sectors would be having great demand. And Jainder, do you know that the leading country in electrical vehicles is Norway?
Yeah.
So
yes.
I think I visited that country in 2018, and at that time they were having 40% of their vehicles as electrical vehicles, and now I have heard that they have grown that to even 60 to 70%. So this is the coming future, and this is going to happen in India too.
I think this is the reason, as considering the population for a positive point of view, that's why
Yes,
a lot of
yes,
companies
yes,
are actually
yes.
coming in India for the investment.
Yes. Like Tata Power is installing their charging stations.
Yes.
So lot many things are happening, and a lot many things has to happen because I think Norway is having a population of 53 lakh.
Yeah.
Right. and they have grown up to 60 to 70 because creating the infrastructure in that particular country is comparatively easy.
Yes.
But yes, over here we have certain challenges which I think our mechanical engineers or mechatronics engineers has to solve, right? Where they could have battery stations.
Yes.
At a ease, maybe at a household, or maybe in the maybe colonies, they must have these charging stations. So we are depending upon that.
So considering all these fundamental things, that's why I think foreign industry, there is a huge demand of these engineers who are actually can install the things, can control the system.
I tell you one thing. I have heard one example that selling maybe a product, maybe any kind of, say I'm selling a shirt, right? So selling a shirt in India is comparatively very difficult as compared to US. Yes. Because those people are having a good paying capacity, and over here it is not.
Yeah.
So if you are able to sell this shirt to a person in India, right? So that means you are having better skills than that of the engineers residing in US and any other developed country.
Definitely, this might also be the reason, like if we talk about the CEOs of most of the companies, they are what the Indians are.
Yes, 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 yes. They have better innovative minds.
Yes.
They have better solutions to provide.
Yes.
Right.
So let us talk about what the artificial intelligence is. So artificial intelligence is actually a field of computer science, along with the integration of different machines that are being artificially make them intelligent for performing some different kind of an operation without any kind of an human intervention. Okay. So the major aspects in this artificial intelligence is machine learning, in which whatsoever the machines are there, so they are actually being trained for performing some different kind of functions.
And Jainder, I have one question over here.
Yeah.
So as you have said that this is a field of computer science.
Yes.
Right. So is it really only
Uh,
computer science engineers can take up this one?
Okay, so wonderful question has been asked by Dr. Manpreet. See, most of the time we have a perception that if we talk about artificial intelligence, only computer engineers are actually able to use. In actual, it's not. If I talk about a simple thing like I need to, let us suppose I need to model this kind of a component, right? So I need to make them train it also. So for that, we need a skill set for with the engineers which have both the things together. Like they must have an understanding of a basic coding of a computer.
Yes,
Along
yes,
with that, they must have a knowledge that how we are going to integrate the mechanical systems with the helper and make them intelligent.
Yes, yes, yes. Another example, what if a person who only knows coding, if I am, taking up that person to a machine that control these parameters.
Yeah.
So it is going to be very difficult for him to, control those parameters. Although, so in almost in LPU, in all the branches, we have ample input of, computer engineering as well. In mechanical engineering, we taking up C++,
Yes,
Python,
Python.
DBMS. So we are teaching our students to that aspect. Even if they want to take up this artificial intelligence as their career, so definitely they are going to have a better scope because they understand mechanical systems, they understand mechatronic systems, and they have better ability to control. Rest is a coding; they can do it.
You might heard a news also that a lot of IT companies now they are actually giving a layoff to the candidates.
Yes.
Reason being they need the mechanical and as well as a mechatronics engineer who had a both the knowledge in sync, so that he can perform better with the more efficiency and productivity. So you will see like these are the different applications where the artificial intelligence is actually comes into the application. Now, let me talk about another new technology that is virtual reality and augmented reality. So this virtual reality you might seen in your different shopping malls also, where we are actually shooting with the children. They are actually having their VR headsets and
let me please clear me on this. Like, is it only being used in the gamification or maybe in any other field?
No.
It's having other kind of use. Because I have seen a lot many kids by now.
Yeah.
They are using, virtual headsets.
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Is it only used in gaming?
No. It's
So what kind
this
of applications it would have in, engineering,
yeah,
especially in mechanical engineering?
specifically in mechanical engineering, like a common man, they might think about that only VR is going to be used in a gamification only. No, it's actually not. If we talk about the application of this virtual reality in one of the application that is bio implants, which actually a mechanical engineers are doing it.
Yeah, I have
Let's-
also sorry.
Yeah.
I have also heard that in the coming time, this particular technology is going to develop, and the doctor is going to operating anyone in US, and that particular operation is happening over here in India with the machines and everything.
Definitely.
So this is going to happen in
Definitely.
the coming future.
Definitely.
So he need not to come over here to perform a surgery or something like that. He would be performing a surgery in US, and the machines by which it is going to be integrated, those machines are performing surgery in the same way.
Yes, absolutely right. Now, talking about another digital technology, that is additive manufacturing. Generally, we call this as a 3D printing also. So if I talk about this particular technology, this technology is actually, it's actually creating a 3D object by adding a layer by layer material in. And the major fundamental
I
of this
think
particular
we should be coming back to this slide, and I think you should explain
yes.
from
So
here.
let me just give an insight to all the aspirants about this particular technology where we want to develop any kind of a 3D object, right? So that can be in which the layer to layer material would be deposited, and finally we come up with the 3D component. Like here you will see that a lot of different components, any kind of a complex components you can develop it out.
Okay, these kind of components are a kind of a special one. We can't manufacture these components on conventional machines.
No, see, if we talk about this particular turbine blade, we can manufacture it out, but the cost associated for the manufacturing with the conventional methods were very high. And even though the time taken, the production time to develop all these things, they are very.
I could see the contours on this turbine blade, and I think if I have to manufacture this component on a conventional machine, I don't think so I could make it.
Yes. So that's why this technology, it's actually a revolutionary technology comes into the industry, wherein within a few hours we can develop this.
On the other side, I could see a statue.
Yeah.
So if that could have been, taken up by the conventional machining processes,
It's very difficult.
I think handmade it could be possible,
Yeah.
but with machines it is going to be very difficult.
So
I think
this is what the beauty of this particular 3D printing is, that you can create any of the complex shape which you want.
Yeah,
You think about any kind of a image in your mind, you can create the same with the help of this technology.
So I have also attended one workshop on this, and where they are making certain implant.
Yes.
For a dog or something like. Yes.
So this is what we are actually talking about, that this is one of the application of the 3D printing also.
Yes.
Wherein
skull, right?
if there is some issue with the damage of the skull, so what we can do, we can take a CT scan of that particular failed skull, and then we develop the fractured part with the help of the 3D print, and then we can install it.
Can you elaborate about like what kind of technologies are involved in this? What kind of skill sets students need? If for example they want to manufacture this product, what are going to be the steps in this?
Okay. So if I talk about that, what kind of a skills are generally required to adapt this kind of a technology? First of all, the candidate, they must have a knowledge related to how to develop the 3D components. So they may.
So we have specific softwares for that.
In LPU we have these softwares. These are there in our curriculum also. This is one of the beauty of the curriculum which we develop in LPU. So even though like in orthopedics also, you might see that this is one of the major application.
So I have heard that once a person would be having kind of a conventional implants. So later on, they find a problem like that was oversized, that was not appropriate, and in some of the cases, they need to replace that part even.
Yes.
So I think that problem could be solved.
Could be solved. Yes.
Yeah. If we can make these particular as per the size of the person or the bone size of the person, we could develop a better part.
Yes.
Right. Great.
Even though this is one of the major application of the 3D printing, where the limbs, if they fractured because of some accidents and all, so we can develop these limbs with the help of the 3D
I think if this part has to be developed by a conventional machine, so people would be taking years to manufacture this one.
Even though I was a bit shocked when I heard this news that the medical industry, they also requires a biomedical engineer.
Yes.
So the biomedical engineers are actually engineers who are having a vast knowledge related to the field of bioimplants and all. And only the mechanical and mechatronics engineers are actually in this field.
Yes. So it's basically integration of two fields which is happening by now.
Yes.
So you cannot only rely on coding, but if you don't know where that coding is going to be applied, and if you don't have the knowledge of that particular component, like the control features of that particular component, it is going to be difficult for the students to cope up with the demanding market.
Yes,
by now.
Absolutely. So talking about robotics and automation, like as you already discussed with the industry 4.0 and 5.0.
That we are in 5.0. So yes, robotics and automation is taking over. where we are not looking for human interventions. So earlier, we were having, human interventions while we were having any kind of complaint,
Yes.
right? If we order something from Swiggy and we find some complaint to that particular, we need to talk to those people,
Yes.
right, to solve out that complaint. But now we have automated systems.
Yes.
So this automation is not only happening in, you can say, a mechanical industry, it is happening everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
It's hour of
The
need,
need of an hour. Yes.
need of an hour,
Yes.
right? So I think industrial robotics, you might have seen that lots of production operations are being uh, controlled by robotic arms. So if we want to perform, say, even welding, if you want to perform any kind of cutting, so robotics arms are basically taking care of that, and even more accurately
Yes. Yes.
than the human. So now we are in era of cobots.
Yes.
So this is the need for maybe next 4 to 5 years. Collaborative robots are basically which can perform the operations of human as well, right? You might have seen prosthetic arm,
Yes.
right? You might have seen humanoids.
Yes.
By now. I think the US is having that humanoid which attends guests.
Yeah.
What is the name of that? I forget.
So it's not in my mind.
So we have seen her. I think I forget the name of that particular robot, but yes, but she can perform almost all kind of operations which are needed to handle a customer.
Yes.
Right? She's been able to answer everything. So this is going to be the future.
Yeah.
Of industry 5.0. And then I'll be I have also already discussed about artificial intelligence and machine learning. When we are giving, for example, so Jainder has asked a question to a robot, like what are the products over here? So that machine is having, you can say, a decision power to narrate whatever products are there in that particular store, right? So that is basically the decision making power if we are giving to the robots. So we generally call it as machine learning. Although I have given a very simple example, the examples are little bit, not little bit. It's even more complex when we are coming to machining operations and everything. And I think thereafter we are having IoTs. Now we have certain machines which you simply turn it on.
Yeah.
Right? And after you're coming home, maybe after 2-3 hours, you could have your whole home, properly cleaned out.
Yeah.
With that particular robot. And now you have a smart locking system as well, where you have fingerprint sensors, and even you can turn on your cars.
Yes.
From a simple remote.
Yeah.
Which is, maybe 10 meters apart from you. You can do it.
Even though
So this is all IoT.
Yeah, even though with the help of this IoT, a lot of industries nowadays, they are implementing this technology wherein they remotely operate the machines.
Yes.
So
yes,
the main unit is actually maybe remotely in some different location, but the
Yes,
complete
yes.
plant is at some different location.
Yes,
So remotely they are
even I visited Fanuc 2 years back.
Yes.
The Fanuc is basically manufacturing the robots, and they have committed us one of the training.
Yeah.
But they simply want that please install this particular robot over here, and we can handle the training over here.
Yeah.
So you could be having all the operations happening which we were performing from Gurgaon.
Yes.
Right? So I think this is going to be the coming future.
Yes. Right. So you will see what we had discussed, that the robots and the complete automation.
So this
was
is the assembly line being handled by the robotic arms.
Yes.
Right.
So this is what the complete industry 4.0 and 5.0 is. Now, talking about another recent advancement in this field, that advanced functional materials. So now you might have heard about, there are a lot of new materials comes into the picture. These what we call it as a functional materials. So depending upon the proper particular function they need to perform, so they are actually developing it.
So is there any particular need of these materials?
Yeah,
in which sector?
Definitely. You might heard about there is a self-healing material that was installed in one of the satellite.
You means if any part of a machine got damaged
Yes, yes.
during
yes.
any kind of operation, so that is going to have a power to self-heal itself.
Yes, yes, yes.
It is.
See, this is what great. God is actually a one of the main engineer in our
Like,
world.
so whatever our bodies are going to have, like if we are having a cut on, maybe a damage on any skin or something like that, it takes up.
heals.
Yeah, it's a natural
process
healing
is being
process we are having. So we can create these kind of processes for.
Yeah, artificially we can create these kind of
Great.
materials. So, so we are actually getting a lot of inspiration from our God also, who
Yes.
is actually a main mechanical engineer who develop all these things.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, talking about the another technology, that is renewable and energy technology. So there is a complete shift of our conventional power systems like coal, nuclear power, oil, and
So is there any specific need for this? You know, why we are shifting from conventional power to clean power?
Yeah, wonderful question. So you had asked about this, that what is the need of this green power and renewable energy? We, as in person, we all are facing the major challenge of global warming because of increase in the temperature, right? So this is what every complete world is looking for. They need, this is a need of an hour that we need to develop the systems in which we are actually taking the inputs from our renewable resources, and that can
Yeah.
be used for a certain application.
So yes. Matlab, that means if we are caring about the environment,
Yeah.
we need to shift from conventional power to green power.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen this particular thing in Sweden.
Yeah.
You know, they have many wind turbines.
Yes.
And I think those countries, Scandinavia, they are taking care of their environment a lot, and much more than that of us.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So definitely the concern would be on high if we are not having, you know, clean air to breathe. Definitely we are going to face problem, but yes, I think we should look upon this sector as well. I think government has done many initiatives as well.
Yes,
I've heard about the solar power panels.
Yes.
If you are going to install those panels, I think that they are providing a good subsidy on that.
Yes, right. So now the last technology is actually a smart manufacturing. So this is one of the also what we are talking about, industry 5.0 is, which is actually an integration of Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing. This digital twin is also one of the upcoming technology, which helps a lot to make the complete manufacturing system.
So, future of mechanical engineering and mechatronics engineering. I think one question would be there in the mind of the aspirants over here, that will I get a job? Will I'll be able to, you know, set up a plant or something like that? So the answer is yes, you will.
Yes.
The only thing you need to take up is the skill set. So without skill set, you know, you can't even grab a simple job, right? So we have all the opportunities over here. We have all the infrastructure here. We have everything here, right? For setting up or for gaining any kind of skill set you want. So rest part is yours, right? So on the basis of this, we have, you know, estimated few of the job profiles which would be there along with the skill sets needed.
Yes.
Right. So if you look upon the first profile is going to be your design engineer. So what kind of skill sets you need is, you need to cope up with the softwares used in designing. Then you must understand tolerances, dimensioning. That means so that you can make that particular part in an accurate way, right? Technical knowledge you need. And thereafter, I think fundamental knowledge of design components, like what is going to be the material for that particular component, which is going to be appropriate, because in even automobile, certain parts we can make up of aluminium, because aluminium is going to have good strength as per the weight ratio, right? And certain parts we cannot afford.
Yeah.
to be made up of aluminium. So then optimization, like what is the size of that particular machine component I have to select, what is going to be the outer diameter, inner diameter, what is going to be the length. So all these aspects you need to understand properly, and definitely with this, you could have a profile of design engineer. You can easily grab a job as a design engineer.
Definitely, right? So apart from that, we have other different profiles which generally industries requires, like production engineers who have very good knowledge and who are
Good demand.
responsible. Yeah, it's on a high demand for this particular field. Then also we have a different profiles of for a mechanical and mechatronics engineer as a project engineer. So a lot of companies are actually requiring the project analyst who can work on the quality assurance aspects. A lot of research and development is
Big
also
scope.
it's a high scope in
But
industry.
yes, in this, students need to, work out a lot on his or her innovation skills.
Yes.
Innovation skills are must. And the second thing I would like to add up is interdisciplinary approach,
Yes,
right? So they need to collaborate, like a mechanical engineer need to collaborate with electronics engineer or maybe computer science engineer. So that could come out with a wonderful research.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. So as we have
Yes.
talked about the sustainable energy, so this is one of the major requirement of an industry as in one of the profile. Then as we talk about industry 5.0, where the robotics engineers are on high demand. Then industries
System
requires a
analyst.
system analyst. So these are some of the profiles which we are
Yes. So we are open for any kind of questions if you would have. So Himanshi, I think we are not being able to see any kind of questions. I think we have.
Yes, so we have few questions, and before we move on to the
Yeah,
questions.
Sophia was the name of that computer. I think
Sophia.
students are very smart by now, by these days,
Yeah.
Sophia was the name of that humanoid robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, and sir, before I move on to the question is, I would like to thank you, sir, for coming in. I mean, for both Jender sir and Manpreet sir for coming in, for giving in your time, crediting your time basically, and the experience. And sir, here we have few questions from Priyanshu. So this question read is 3D printer make working? Okay, so does 3D printer also makes a working model?
Yes, a wonderful question has been asked by Priyanshu. See, Priyanshu, with the help of this 3D printing, you can first create the single component with the 3D printer, and then you can assemble it out and make that component as a working model, right? So as you are at the initial stage, so you are only talking about a model and prototypes also. But what industries are doing, they are actually developing the components and then integrating it out, and then they are perform with that complete integrated system. They are performing some different applications. This is what we talked about in bio implants and all these things.
I think I would like to add up one more thing in this. Like if you want to make a very simple kind of product, like for example, a cylindrical object, maybe a kind of a rod. So that rod is not going to be appropriate being made on the 3D printer, right? Because we are having better conventional processes for that, right? So if you have certain kind of components like bio implants,
yeah,
right, like you have kind of a skull crack over here and you want to insert some sort of a plate over here, so that is going to be very difficult to be made on the conventional processes with the conventional machines. That is being made up with the 3D printing. And next question I could see is difference between AI and machine learning. So in the technical aspects, by now, I don't think so that it is going to be appropriate that if I'll be going that deep into it. But yes, in artificial and machine learning, what we are intended to do is we want to train our machine in such a way that it could take up the right decisions, accurate decisions. For example, I'm developing a model, right? I'm developing a model to estimate a height. of anything. So there are going to be different kind of input parameters. For example, father side, mother side, diet plan, sports he or she is playing, right? His environment, whether he is in Europe or whether he is in India, whether he is in Philippines, that is also going to be one of the aspects. So we could have different kind of, input parameters, for which I'll be needing certain data to train my system. I'll be picking up certain data like this was the person, that was his height, this was his father's height, this was his mother's height, this was his game he was playing, right? So I'll be training my system first, right? And then for a case study, I'll be taking up certain data that how my estimation is going to be there. So it is basically, if I'll be talking about as a whole, it is going to be a kind of a algorithm. So is being developed in a input and output parameters, and we want that algorithm is going to be the right one.
So we can't make a system artificial intelligence without the help of machine learning. Right?
Yes.
So it's actually an integration of both.
Definitely,
So
sir.
any more questions if
Yes.
would be there, definitely we'll love to answer.
Yes, sir. We have few questions from registrants as well, who could
Okay.
not join the session. So this question says, if all the advances are focused on human-centered design, then aren't we harming the nature?
Pardon? Can we get it?
Okay, so it says, if all the advances are human-focused, right? All the advances that has been done, so aren't we harming the nature by that?
Aren't we harming the
Nature, sir. Environment, nature.
Wonderful question you had asked.
good question and difficult to answer it.
So generally what happened that whenever any system is being designed, they are always designed considering the sustainable development. Right?
Yes.
So as we all are, we complete the complete world is actually in the area of the sustainable development, so that we can preserve our nature and for the future generation also. So like UN had given the 17 SDG goals also, wherein everyone is actually working in this area. So for a mechanical system to develop, always the things are being considered that they would not be having any impact on the environment.
Like this is the main reason, we are looking for the alternatives of plastic by now, because plastic as a waste is a big problem for us.
Yes.
So that is why we are looking for certain materials which could perform the same operations as that of plastic, and it should be biodegradable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So in somehow, if some technology is coming, maybe directly or indirectly, we are harming environment. But on the other side, we are working to our best of our capacity that we should not be, harming the environment anymore.
Yes.
So because I think we are on the verge of, this thing called environment. So we need to take care of environment. So that is why we are having, green power resources by now.
Yeah, definitely, sir. And sir, with this, we have our last question, and it is from Minhaj Khan. So it says,
Okay.
is this field only evolutionary or revolutionary as well?
So it is depending upon a student where he would like to, stand.
Yeah.
As a evolutionary or as a revolutionary. So because I have one example of one of my first year mechatronics student, Narayan Solanki. So he was in the first year, and we had a competition over here, Metha. If you might have heard of this Metha event, the final would supposed to happen in IIT Bombay, and it has already been happened. So they were not allowing, third year or final year student, first year and second year students initially, right? But I have promoted that student because that student was having capability. He was right in the first year, and he was among the finalists of the students who were participated in IIT Bombay with all other institute, all other participants. And to my surprise, not to my surprise, it's the thing which I was expecting, he stood first out of there among all. So it is depending upon the student whether he is evolutionary or revolutionary. If he is having, a fire inside, we are having right approach to support him in any ways we can. right? And that student, I can guarantee you with my words, and I'm online right now. So that student is not going to face any kind of problem in his career.
Definitely.
You look for that particular students after 10 years, he'll be doing wonders.
Yeah, definitely, sir. And thank you, sir. Okay, so we have another question coming in from Priyanshu. So I believe it is augmented reality. So it says how augmented reality help in technology to develop.
Okay, so Priyansh, I think we had already answered this particular query when I had talked about the augmented reality. So, wherein this particular technology, they helps a lot, specifically in the field of medical and all other things.
So all other aspects I would like to cover. Like there would be a situation would be there in the coming years. Like in Corona era, we had many online jobs, right? And there would be in coming time one of the reality which you could be facing by sure in coming 4 to 5 years, that I am sitting here. You could see my real image, or can say the virtual image over there, right? And you could see my presence. If I am in LPU, you could see me in Gurgaon. You can see me in US. So this is going to happen, right? And lots of revolution is needed in this field.
Definitely, sir. And I think, sir, we are done with the questions. So
All
if
right.
yeah, so participants, if you have any other question, you can post in Q&A box or chat box. And meanwhile, sir, I would like to extend my thanks again for giving the resolution of the queries for our participants, and again for coming in, sir, and giving in your time, and a special vote of thanks for the way that you've explained the presentation. It has been really an insightful presentation, sir. And sir,
Thank you so much.
yeah, so it's pleasure of ours and all the participants, of course. And so with this, I would like to take a few admission queries now and show them a little about the site as well, like how they can, if they want to take admission, how they can take the admission and what is the process going to be. So can I?
Yeah, sure. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. So to all the admission queries that we've had, so this is one short resolution that I'm going to give you, and that is our site. Okay, so basically just a minute.
Pardon? I didn't get it.
Sorry, sir.
What did you say?
Just a minute. I think my screen is blocked. Yeah. Okay, sir. Is my screen visible?
I think your voice is little bit problematic for me. Maybe some sort of network issues.
Okay, so now am I audible? Now am I audible properly?
Yes, you are audible by now.
No, sir. I was just telling all the participants as to how they can take admission, and for that, this one short resolution or if for every query is our
Okay.
site. Yeah, that is lpu.in. So you simply need to write this lpu.in in the browser that you have, and once you write this site, I mean this particular website, this will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. Now these are all the highlights of the university. Okay, now before I move on to the admission queries, I would want you all to know that we have different webinars that are already planned. So how you can check all the different webinars is simply click on the admissions here, and at the left hand side corner or the side, you can see LPU's EduFair webinar page. So once I click on that, you will be able to see all the webinars that are enlisted already, and we have different webinars that are coming in regularly, so you can register yourself for free and gain as much as knowledge you want. Okay, you can see different webinars that are already listed here, so you can just check in and just register for yourself. Okay, now coming back to the admissions. So simply you click on the admissions, and once you click on that, you will be finding different programs that are very beautifully segregated and adjusted here. As you can see, after 12th, after graduation, after postgrad, 10th, diploma, doctoral, etc. Now I will be clicking on regular programs. I'm just assuming that you are a 12th pass out student and want to take an admission in regular program, undergraduate program. So once I click on after 12th, we see all the disciplines that we have here. You can see engineering, agriculture, science, forensic science, performing arts, with any discipline you name it, we have it here. Now, I'll just simply take an example of engineering. And because we were talking a lot about mechanical and mechatronics, so I'm just going to take a little example of mechanical engineering here. So once I click on mechanical engineering or any discipline for that matter, we will be seeing all the programs that are offered under that particular discipline. So I clicked on mechanical engineering and you can see we have 2 programs under this, and I will be clicking off. If I click on any of the program, these are the options that are available. So in next 1 minute, I'll be briefing them all. So this program details basically give you the eligibility criteria, whether you're eligible for a particular course or not. So here you can check whether you're eligible for a particular course or not. Now coming to the highlight option, that gives you all the placements, all the researches, patents, all student achievements, and the rankings of the university. Moving to the curriculum part, this actually tells you that what you will be studying in your 3 or 4 years course, and you can see in which term you're going to study what, and I think that would help you to make a disciplined decision as to whether you want to proceed with a course or not. Going to the fee structure, fees is you can see once I click on the fee, this will be the interface, and this is the regular fee. Now this is not, I mean, this 1,20,000 is our per semester fee, but again, this is not the regular fee that our students pay. Why? Because they get a lot of scholarships. And here you can see you can avail up to 48% of the program fee waiver on your fee. So how you can do that is simply you have all the criterias given here. You need to explore those criterias. And we have other scholarships as well. You can just check it out, that scholarship based on JEE mains or special scholarships. For example, if you have been a part of any entrepreneur, any cultural, any sports program, or the financial aids also. So you can explore the scholarship portion and apply for that same. Now is the important date. This is very important to note that last date of admission is 25th of June. So kindly, be eager and just apply for the course and the test that you want to. And how you can apply, simply click on apply now option. And there are some requirements, you submit them and you will be given your dashboard. And from there, you can actually apply for the course. Now, I hope that I've given you a brief as to how you can take admission. Now, if you want to, if there's anything that I could not tell, you can just write in the chat box or Q&A box, or you can schedule a call from the site as only, or you can WhatsApp us or have a live video counseling session as well with us. So our counselors will be here to provide their esteemed knowledge and hence would try to resolve your queries. So I think I have given you a little idea as to how you can take admissions. And with this, I would want to take permission, sir, to wrap this webinar if you do not want to add anything to it.
I think we are good to go, but the time was very limited for us to interact. Even if the students were having any kind of queries, I think our numbers are with the admission team all the time. You can call us, you can contact us, and preferably if you could visit the university, it is even better.
Correct. And I would also,
because this is going to be, shaping up your future, and I think if you are taking a decision, at least take a decision after coming to the university.
Definitely.
Right? So we are open with all kind of queries. They are having our numbers, and they can call us anytime.
Yeah.
And so with the time restrictions, I think we must leave now.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in. And at last, I want to thank all the participants also for coming in
much.
and giving their queries. And I hope that you have also enjoyed the session like I have. So until next session, stay safe and stay healthy. So thank you so much.
So bye everyone.
So,